Hey, what's up guys? ArtDude47 here, and today we are looking at this copy of NASCAR 99 on the N64. Now, why are we looking at this game? Well, I had the idea that since we looked at the most valuable item in my collection the other day, that we should check out the least valuable item. Now, when I had this idea, I did not know exactly what game it was. In fact, I was expecting it to be an NES game. But I was hoping it would be something interesting that we could talk about and take a look at. And then, of course, it ended up being NASCAR. We are still going to talk about the game a little bit, take a look at it, but this is my copy. It's loose, which may affect the price. We're going to take a look at the cartridge real quick, and then we're actually going to get into some gameplay, and I'll talk a little bit about the game. But, yeah, this one's the least valuable item in my collection, valued at about $3 according to Price Charting. So without further ado, we'll get into it. We'll get into a little gameplay. We'll talk about any history I can find on the game, as well as just whether or not it's a game, whether I think it deserves to be the least valuable, and why it may be the least valuable. So let's get into it. Alright, so I've just got some gameplay on in the background of me testing out the game. You'll see that I am pretty awful at it, but I just figured I'd put some gameplay so you can see what the game looks like, check out the graphics while I talk a little bit about the game. We'll try this format of video and see how it works. So like I said, NASCAR 99 kind of has the dubious honor of being the least valuable game in my collection. I don't think that's much against the game itself. It seems like a fairly standard racing game. That being said, it doesn't really do anything special and wasn't a ton of fun. But for the time, I think the graphics were alright. Just looking into how it reviewed, it basically got average reviews. It wasn't negative, but it wasn't positive. It's a lot like I said. It didn't do anything special. So it released in 1998. It came out on the 64 and the PlayStation. It was developed by Stormfront Studios and published by EA Sports. Stormfront Studios, I looked up, is pretty interesting. They did basically Madden and NASCAR. They kind of did the first ones of those games. And then also randomly they did Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, which any of you remember that game, was actually a pretty good game. But it doesn't seem like they did any of the other Lord of the Rings games, so they just kind of randomly did that one. But then they went out of business in 2008, and of course EA keeps up the sports games. I'm not sure if they're developed in-house or just published by EA right now, but that's who's currently doing them. So like I said, the game, it's NASCAR. It's got 31 drivers available from the 1998 Winston Cup Series, and then 6 legendary drivers. It's got 17 racetracks, all the most popular ones, and then some other ones as well. And it's got kind of your own pit crew and tells you how you're doing, things like that. So, like I said, it's nothing special, but it was a fairly fun game. And then, like I said, honestly, it didn't review that well, but I think NASCAR fans would have liked it. Probably wouldn't have been something to purchase back when it came out, but definitely could have been a weekend rental from a Blockbuster or something like that, and definitely been worth it. Also to note, I believe there is multiplayer available, which I did not test out. Games like this, I feel like, are a lot more fun couch co-op, so that could definitely help out as well. Get a couple friends in play, and I think you'd have a good time. So that's really it for NASCAR 99. Is it going to provide you endless hours of fun? That really depends on your tolerance for left turns. But it was worth taking a look at. It will stay in my collection, as this is actually a childhood game of my wife's and her family's, so it'll stay in the collection and it'll provide memories there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.